What's good? You are now tuned in with Orthodox Podcast. Get some drink.
I stay off them perks. I be sleep but never lacking. Never.
Man, my boy Mike Larry, man. Thanks for coming up to the podcast, bro. No cap. Hell yeah, I know you've been working on a lot of stuff, man. I be seeing you promoting some clubs and stuff and hosting like that. How'd you get into hosting and stuff? You like doing that?
Well, actually, it was more of just doing music and
Yeah, performing.
singing and performing and getting into like the mix with the right people. Like when you get like kind of like around, I guess like-minded people, they kind of keep you in the mix and plug with everything that's going on. So yeah, man, it's kind of like one of those things. And then you know how it work when you kind of get a label for what you do.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of falls into place like that too.
Hell yeah, man. Pier 11. When did you start creating that? What made you have the idea to create that?
Pier 11 is crazy because like with doing a world, people always kind of ask me something about like, when you gonna do a world? When you gonna drop something? Because I've been around like for a little while. I had like an 8 month like period where I wasn't on, but I've been on Horizons for like at least 3 years. So like it was for me finding like something that was different, finding your niche because everybody kind of, I'm gonna sing, so I rap or whatever. So I do a studio, or I'm gonna do a club, or stuff like that. But it was more finding something that kind of stood out and that was gonna be different. And one of the things that people didn't know for a long while that is that I draw.
Oh yeah.
For a
Draw
long
good
while,
as
bro.
hell. I
Like
join you. I see your ass drawing turtles and shit.
right. And I used to not even fuck with the board. Them boards been around. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I didn't really mess with it. But when I started drawing with the board, it was kind of like noticing like how people responded more than anything. Like I'll be drawing sometimes, and I'm sitting there by myself, and I see one person, right, and they might say something like, "What are you drawing?" Like, just hold on for a second. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, just hold on. I keep drawing, and I zone out, and I look up. It's like 8 people standing there now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And really seeing a response from the people, and people asking me like, what are you gonna do like with that? Like, are you just gonna like you just draw like different? I was doing that, like just drawing different spots. Like wherever I go, I see a board, I draw something, snap a
Hell
picture.
yeah.
And the more I would hear people, you know, re- respond and ask me questions, and then it was like, you should find a way to, like allow people to see your work, man. I'm thinking like how would that work? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would that look like?
True. In the
So
metaverse.
like they're asking me questions, but at the same time, like I got some churning at the same time too. Like I'm not saying too much, but it's churning. And the more I guess like would have those conversations, I was kind of like going into like ideas and then trying to find a way to balance the both because you know I do music still, so it's like how can I like kind of form both of those? And to me, I always say this, it sounds like a fucking broken record. Music is art for me, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
that's art.
all art
Yeah.
for me. It's all an art form. It's all like about being creative, the artistry. I produce too. I don't know if you knew it. I've been over on the sampler. I won that one season. Shout out to the sampler. Uh yeah, so everything about music and drawing and painting and even like the world building process, the creativity of it, like everything is art. Like the ideal of Pure 11 was art because we wanted to create a vibe and how we even went about it. Like it wasn't just let's just jump in here and like do something. Like it was a whole like purpose. Like it was an objective. Like we wanted people to feel something from the time when they spawn in, like walking down the pier, and seeing like you got the pier on this side, you have your structure like the actual art gallery, giving like a real like immersive type of feel. Like everything was done on purpose. So
Yeah, that's a really good world, man. Y'all put that
right,
together nicely.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think it's one of those worlds that has like this balance of like classy, but we can still go in there and turn up.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's one of those. It's one of those, and that's really what I want. And I had to have something that was kind of like my personality. That's the thing too, and and being patient too. Like I see a lot of people, again, like they just jump and build worlds or just make worlds instead of like really finding their niche or even
Oh
building a
yeah,
following. Like, what do you do? Why are people gonna come to your world? You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
and I remember when you were first talking about doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
weren't like doing this at the time, and not even that, like kind of separating yourself, like just the vibe. And like, yeah, I was telling somebody about the podcast, and I was like, sometimes they be on some serious shit, sometimes they with the shit, you know what I'm saying?
On
It's a balance,
God,
right, right.
yeah.
So, right, like, and
That's what I want to do. I
that's
want to
your
kind of
niche,
be like
though,
the
right,
that type of person. Like the everybody, not everybody's like stiff, but everybody kind of act real too. I feel like everybody act real professional. You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
right,
this
right.
podcast, we gonna be professional, but like we gonna also be chilling though type shit.
Right, 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 right. And that's again, like that's just finding your niche, like how you want to do things instead of like following like along, following suit with what you see everybody else doing.
And I didn't even
I
know
can
that shit was
respect
gonna
that.
be messy for real. That shit just happened.
But you know how that work. You know how that work. Yeah, people have a whole lot to say when they get a platform. So if you get a certain type of person and you put a mic in front of you don't know what the fuck gonna
On God, that's crazy, dude.
happen.
But shit, where you from though? Where'd you grow up at?
I'm from Mississippi, man. I grew up in the South,
From the SIP.
and yeah, I'm from the SIP, and I was in one of those families where like all my family was scattered out everywhere. Like my dad had like a lot of sisters. Him and his only brother were both still in Mississippi, and all their sisters were everywhere from Nebraska, St. Louis, a few sisters in Chicago,
Oh, you got
Davenport,
family a little bit
Iowa.
everywhere.
Like we were like, yeah, we were kind of like scattered out everywhere. So uh, when he was the baby boy, so he always spent time like a lot of these places as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they were older, and we always traveled. So I got a chance to see more than just Mississippi, and then I later went into the military, which also caused me to kind of move around a little bit too. So yeah,
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
what was it
people they
like?
be like, a lot of people are always like, I can hear your accent sometimes, but a lot of times I can't. Yeah, that's how it works.
Did you have any immediate family there? Or did you kind of like feel like you was just had a little family? You know what I'm saying? No siblings and stuff where you
Uh,
lived at.
I I actually I have a couple of siblings. Actually, that's the funny thing because my sister she actually lived in Chicago for a long time, and
Oh, the rack.
she married and moved to Chicago, and then eventually she's in Georgia now. So like I say, like we kind of scattered out everywhere. And like I say,
Dang,
I
I be
went to the
traveling.
military, so I was the same way. I got the chance to see some other countries and all kind of shit. I'm saying
At a
doing that.
young age, what would you kind of say like middle school to high school? Like, what was you getting into and stuff? You start
Bro,
did that when you start
I
drawing in music?
was drawing, music, and basketball.
Oh
Like
snap! I didn't know
I
you
hoop,
balling.
like I still hoop, like to this day. Like I hoop faithfully. I keep up with basketball. Like I'm a big, like people be messing with me because they see me with like certain sports teams on. Like I got the like this is my team. Like, this is my squad. I
Halloween
might
horrors.
throw some other shit on. They like, why you got that on? If you say you're a Lakers fan, because I'm a basketball fan. You know what I'm saying? Like overall, Lakers is my team, but
Fan of
I'm a
the game.
basketball. I'm a fan of the game. Right, right, right. I've always hooped, man. That was like, I mean, I played like a little college ball and could have had like some little
Oh, you was in college? You
opportunities.
was college doing
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I when I first come out of high school, I was again like probably like 5'11", man. Like, and I was in that generation of people were just now getting used to like the smaller type of players. Like
Oh
everybody,
yeah.
they wanted everybody to be like 6'6" and dunking and all this other shit. I mean, I was dunking and shit too, but what I'm saying? I was all about like I'm trying to shoot. I'm trying to. We was doing that Curry shit before Curry, that type of shit.
Yeah,
But
when they be just when they
coaches
just
went on
lobbing
that
in
though.
there.
Like coaches ain't like what I'm saying you don't find too many coaches that'll let you just shoot like that. They looking at you crazy. Like even if you hit it, like what the fuck you doing? Like that's some new shit to like just come up and be pulling like from the timeline all the damn time.
You was trying to pull them threes. Was you making them? Were you making the buckets
Oh
though?
hell yeah! I always. I mean that's we we grew up with this thing called the 2 feet rule. You give me 2 feet, bro. You can pretty much we can run on the other end. You can just go ahead and give me a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't block my shot, I'm probably gonna hit it. Like that type of shit.
Damn, hell yeah.
Just need like a little bit of space, like those type of things. And then
What
like I
college you had went to?
I played. at Ole Miss a little bit, and then I eventually
Oh,
transferred to Jackson State, and that was before I went all the way in with the military. Yes, I did it crazy because I saw the best of both worlds. Where I went to this traditionally, predominantly white school, and then I flipped it and went to HBCU, which I'm saying night and day, like for real, night and day. It's an experience though. I would
which one you like better?
I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
I ain't gonna even lie, like just for the experience, especially for people who don't really understand like or want to be in tune with the culture. Like HBCUs are really kind of cool, and it was even unexpected for me to more, I guess, feel like I will gravitate, to that vibe. But I think it's mostly because, um, I mean, I think anytime when you can see a type of environment, like when black people can actually come together, and a lot of those schools, you kind of catch a lot of those type of vibes. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of good stuff versus,
Oh, that's fire.
us always at each other and shit. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, that's also one thing I kind of regret promoting a little bit, but at the same time they be doing that they self.
It
Like
is
shit.
what it is, man. That shit, like I say, it's balance. Like you got to take the good with the bad.
Does that kind of give you you feel better about the human race when you see stuff like that, black people come together? You feel better about the race itself, like
I,
you know.
I feel better about the race itself, but like I'm in tune with reality. You know what I'm saying? Like because again, I'm a military guy. I've been in other countries and did deployments, and I saw more than just us. Like so, us as a people, what I'm saying, we got a whole lot of fucking work.
Oh
It's always
God,
some
yeah,
shit
as a
popping
people,
off, man. You know what I'm saying? Think about like where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I try
shit
not to even
crazy,
keep
bro.
up with like politics and the news and shit like that, but it's like it's right there. You can't help but to acknowledge again, like just where we at as a people, like in the world. Like, it's always a war. It's always a chance of a war.
I'm
It's
glad
always
Trump's
some
still here
shit
though,
about to
man. I
pop
feel like
off.
we would have been in danger if he would have got hit with that shit. We would have been in danger, bro.
I ain't gonna even lie. Like I would hate to see the other side of that. You know, only because we already we had a glimpse of how people acted. Like what I'm saying, like already raiding the fucking White House and all that shit. So I would hate to see the other side of that.
It's gonna be a real deal riot, nigga. It's gonna be white
Again, that's
folks
what we
rioting.
at again, like in the world though. Like I said, you got to take the good with the bad, man. Everything ain't always, what I'm saying, peaches and cream and roses and all that shit.
Hell yeah.
Whatever you prefer.
What did you go to college for? Like, I mean, your like degree
I
and shit.
actually went for music and graphic design. I double
Oh,
majored
that's fire. Graphic
at the
design's fire.
time, which was kind of odd. And yeah, I double majored, which I later end up like just kind of focusing more like on the music production side.
Engineering? You went to school for engineering? Like
I went to
music
school for
engineering?
for production and engineering, for production and engineering.
Damn. So you
So
know how to
like,
mix and master.
I fuck with Pro Tools and all that shit. Yeah, yeah.
Did they teach you did they get you like real crispy with that shit? Like,
It get you real crispy, and the biggest thing is to like try to do as much like exploring on your own, especially if you are one of those type of people that you have a passion and an ear for like sound and music. Because what'll happen is when they begin to teach you, you'll be picking up shit already and be more learning terminology because you'll be knowing what the fuck is going on. And see, I was doing music for so long already, so once I started like really doing the classes, I was learning like a lot of terminology and like extra stuff, like here and there, like okay, like that's what this is called, like oh, this is what this is supposed to control, like for it's like plugins and you know how that shit goes deep.
man, was it tough? Cause bro, I be on FL Studio and I used to use Mixcraft, but I'm learning FL right now, and I struggle to make that shit just crystal clear. You know what I'm saying? Did they teach you like all the stuff required to achieve that sound? You know what I'm saying about? But
I
like, say you
think
turn on some shit on the radio, you know what I'm talking about? How they sound crispy.
they do, and again, it's understanding like again like what you're trying to do like in the moment, right? Like say like you're making your beat or you're doing some producing and you compile all these sounds and you're doing all this stuff and now you're listening to it or you got that listen like when you take it like I've exported and now I'm listening to it, it doesn't sound right, like okay, like this is not blending, or things are kind of like more of a fighting against each other like sounds. Those are frequency issues right there. You know what I'm saying? So like now when you
Oh, okay.
start to learn like more about frequencies and what sounds like
The
a place on
EQ.
a on a frequency scale, like now you can balance those out to actually have everything blend more. And again, it's just knowing like what you're focusing on.
Oh, that does make hella sense right there. Yeah, yeah.
Think about highs, lows, mids, and like you kind of got like it's almost like, and so I see this shit like the Matrix almost, like you know the green shit coming up.
Oh
But
yeah,
you have like this group, like you know what I'm saying, and everything just kind of goes across of like of sound, and like where everything is placed, for where you have like the lowest bass to like the highest bass, and everything in the middle, and then everything that's high, like
yeah.
so
They
it's
be having
finding
little
those
dots
free.
and shit too. You just move them
Right,
around.
right. Exactly,
Yeah, I be in
exactly.
the
And
studios
it's
and shit
finding
too.
those frequencies even within those. Like, yeah, that shit, it can get complicated, but this again, like, and I think that's the cool thing about messing with it and actually learning it at the same time, because that stuff that you run into and you're not understanding, and then like once it's brought up, then you can like recall, yeah, I was kind of messing with that, and okay, now you get an understanding, kind of grasping like more of like what you're doing.
Hell yeah, I be looking at that screen with my like after I get done recording, I go in the other room and I be watching them mix and shit. And I look at that screen, I'm like, what the fuck that nigga doing? But I know I be knowing that shit sound crisp when he done though.
Yeah, yeah. And then like again, like some people are like, you can't undermine like just having an ear, like for being able to hear like stuff like that, to
Facts.
hear music. Like that's a gift within itself. You know, like it's a reason why some people do that shit real good, you know.
On
Versus
God, I
like,
can only
you
trust a
know, like
certain few.
you can go to school sometimes and have like all the information, but sometimes somebody is just, you know, different with that shit. Like they just grasp it easier. And that's most of the time just that ear, being able to hear.
Hell yeah,
Right.
that's true. I know this one dude, he got all the high tech equipment, big old booth and everything, but his mixing,
Right,
it's
right,
trash.
right. I witnessed that on several occasions. Actually, I had a guy not too long ago that was trying to get me and one of my cousins just to come into his studio and just do work, because he really just wanted to sit in sometimes to see what was going on and try to get a feel of like what to do, because he had bought like a lot of shit, Palos and all this other shit, and he don't know
Damn,
what the fuck to do with it.
Apollo.
Right, right. He don't know what the fuck to do with it.
Hell yeah, I want me an Apollo, and I want either a Joe Rogan mic or the Newman. That Newman
Newman,
is crazy.
man. Newman is classic for that just full like natural sound.
That radio sound, that shit
Yeah,
keeps it on fire.
yeah.
So boom, you in college? Did you graduate? Did you graduate?
I didn't graduate from neither one of those universities. I later on took classes and actually got uh a degree, actually an associates in the production and in the mixing.
Oh yeah, that hard.
I also later picked up graphic design again. Actually, that's what I was doing last year. I took a break from metal for a little while, and that was one of the things I was doing. I kind of picked up schooling again, and then I relocated, so I took a break again. But I mean, it's like right there. Like I just gotta stop procrastinating and start back again, because that's another thing. Like I think with graphic design and like doing stuff in music, like when you already kind of got like a natural gift in it, like it's just it's more of just picking up again, like on the the terminology, and you know that the book part of it, you know, the book part, especially when you have a passion for something. So,
Hell yeah, that shit. Hell yeah, that's fire.
and then like even with the graphic design, like I was thinking from a standpoint of, you know, I think anybody that has the opportunity to go to school and that might be interested in something like that, and if you're hanging around in here a lot, why the fuck not? I mean, because I mean, I think it's opportunities just in that. Like, you know, if you really, you know, were interested.
On
You know,
God, that's the move. You might as well learn graphic design if you learn music, cause like Chief Keef, I know he be uploading pictures to his Instagram. He'll making his own album covers and stuff.
but see,
He
I've
be
done
in the
that. Right,
studio.
right. A lot of
That's
my
it. It all
right.
comes into play. Everything with this music shit goes in with this acting shit.
You can
Goes
have
in
like a
with
one-stop
all type of
shop
shit.
almost.
On God,
You know, where you can come in and do everything and have like a whole product.
that
Be like
Photoshop
that.
easy. That shit easy too. Once you learn how to do that shit, it's over with.
Right, 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 right. Just have to mess with it a little bit. And again, just having that advantage of having some experience, like again in graphic design, bro. That's gonna put you over the top every time.
What made you kind of want to go ahead and join the military? Did you get recruited by a recruit?
The military thing for me, man, was I think like
What?
a
What?
lot
Hold
of
on. What,
people.
how old was you when you did go in?
Bro, when I went in the military, I was actually 19.
Oh, you was
So
young,
like
bro.
my,
Oh,
my
you went
biggest
in the
thing,
military. You went to college after the military.
I went in, I was like I had like these breaks, right, in
Yeah.
between like where I could like do the whole college thing and I had like a split too, like where I did my training, uh from like basics to AIT and stuff like that. And my biggest thing about the military for me was I think it was an opportunity at the time for me to have some extra money for schooling because I was working like trying to get like a fucking scholarship from this one school. That's how I ended up actually at Jackson State because I was actually trying to go somewhere else when I left Ole Miss initially, and they just weren't fucking budging. And I had like some issues also like going on with my fam and things like that, and trying to, I guess, be independent. You know what I'm saying? Not be in my parents' pockets and shit like that. And the military was like always like an option. I was always in great shape, you know. So like boom, like did that. Uh, ain't gonna lie, it's not for everybody. I ain't gonna be the one to be like, yeah, you should go. Nah, that shit ain't for everybody, bro. That shit
Hell
is
yeah.
not for
What
everybody.
year was it when you
You know
was
what I'm
in the
saying?
military? When you joined?
Bro, I went to the military like you know, I'm an old head, you know what I'm saying? This is like early 2000s, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
So like
yeah.
this is like right in the midst of like everything that was kind of going on with,
Oh yeah.
you know, 9/11 and the wars
And
going
you joined
on now and
2000
all
before
that shit like
2001.
that. Right there, right there when the shit happened. So
Damn.
in the midst of all that, it's kind of like uh think about, right? You know, it's so crazy because people will always tell me this. If you talk to anybody that kind of like knows like military history and war and stuff like that, they got this thing like a clock where they can kind of predict like when confrontations will happen.
Yeah.
And somebody was telling me like, yeah, if you join right now, just know like you're gonna be in a war. And I was like, so you don't think I can like sneak in and do 4, maybe 6 years and like, you know, nothing happens? And I swear, bro, like soon as I got in, that shit happened.
Damn.
The dude was like, I'm talking about he was dead on. So like even now, like I say, like I think, you know, a lot of people don't keep up with it. Like I say, like talking about, I kind of keep my ear to like, you know, stuff like that because like, you know, I had experience, but it's always something brewing like to fucking happen. So yeah, I was right there in the middle of all that shit, and then I did 2 deployments. One that was actually like more of, that was the one, you know what I'm saying, the one that everything, you know, I got my I got experience in like combat experience. I put it like that.
Now what's now your first deployment? What year was that?
This was gonna be like I think '03, and then I turn around like in actually 2005. That's when no, actually 2002. But I had like some shit going on that didn't allow me to have to like actually, you know what I'm saying, have to like do like a whole year, you know what I'm saying, like being pretty much you know in country. And hell, I wasn't even doing the same job I did in 2005 then. That's the crazy part. That's the other part. Like you pick a certain job thinking like you're gonna pick something fun, and then like some shit happen, and then you stuck with one of those jobs that like you're gonna be out there doing some shit. 'Cause, uh, I initially went into what they call like the engineering, and I was a combat engineer.
Oh, fire.
Like you get to do fun shit. Uh, within the training, you learn about explosives, and you kind of like a what they call a grunt or infantryman. Except you fuck with like mine sweeping and like again like C4, like all kind of crazy shit.
Bro, be trying to
Uh,
yeah,
but it's fun until
C4
like you have to
detonate.
use that shit. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, on God.
Right, until you have to use that shit. So like when I did
Bro
my
gotta
deployment,
defuse the bomb, Call of Duty style.
now the biggest thing that I used to hate, like because of what we did, like again, we were like infantrymen. Like my deployment in 2005, like man, like we would have to do patrols and maybe stop in the middle of patrol and rig up some shit with C4 and blow that shit up, and then like continue to fucking patrol. Like we just ain't shit gonna happen. Like like or uh anything pretty much dealing with like I remember getting into one area and the first thing we did, like soon as boots touched ground, we were like near the Euphrates River, like mine sweeping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Looking under the
you're
trash.
really doing this shit, digging for like weapon caches and stuff like that. And like, yeah, it was out there. Like, I had my moments where I kind of like look around, like, what the fuck? Because we see this shit on movies and video games until you actually like in it. You
Damn. So you what's it called? 2000. When did they do the when did they go over there for the Osama? No, yeah, Osama shit. What year was
All
that?
of that was going on, like, again, that's really what started it, like in 2000, 2001. And like I said, during that time when I was over there in 2005,
That was y'all still. That's just yeah, cause y'all
yeah,
had control. Y'all was just patrolling that shit.
yeah, it was more of that. Uh, it was called. I think that was you had you had three different, I guess you can say, operations that kind of happened there from the beginning to the ending, and I was right there in the middle where we were just pretty much kind of again like holding the fort down. You know what I'm saying? After the invasion,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Y'all was in
that's that
Afghanistan.
that's no, I was actually in Iraq, and
All
that's
right.
when you went from okay, they over there doing their thing to oh shit, like they getting fucked up because that's when they started doing the roadside bombs and explosions and all that shit all the time, like the suicide bombers and all that crazy shit. That's when they kind of like you know they one
It
up
was
this. I
tweaking.
figured pretty much, yeah, because you dealing with like a type of people, man, like they believe like that they can die and go to heaven for what I'm saying, what they believe
Yeah.
and their religious beliefs. Like they looking at, okay, I'm just gonna go over here and blow myself up and kill these people, and I'm gonna die and go to heaven and have all these versions. And yeah, that's another whole story. But yeah.
And then like, did you what's it called? I watched this documentary of these people. They would these soldiers they would ride around, but they'll hook the CD player up to the I guess the whatever controls the audio and the text and shit.
I
He'll
think I
hook the
saw
CD
that.
player up and
I think I saw
he'll
that
put on some
documentary.
Tupac and shit, and they would be riding and shit listening to Tupac. What was y'all bumping
Shit.
on in there? Was y'all ever
Nah, we
listening to?
weren't bumping shit. We need to hear every fucking thing that we need to hear. We ain't do none of that shit. But I saw that documentary. I know what you're talking about.
That was a
Yeah,
good doc, bro.
yeah. That was dope.
If I
Had
was
a
in
lot of
war, like
crazy stuff that
if I was in the firefight, man, I'd probably put that shit on, just pop, 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 pop.
ain't gonna lie. Like it's I mean it's different. You have to think about it, man. Like you're in a place where you know like why you're there, and it's a possibility you might not make it on.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's a
Yeah.
24/7 to the day that you leave. You know, and once you experience like them, like trying to fuck you up, like it's real. Then you know what I'm saying. They ain't no like okay, yeah, like we over here. No, like once that one experience or something happens, like yeah, like you know like exactly what time it is, and don't and it's one of those places too, like especially like Iraq in particular, being over there, uh, all the people weren't against us, like like being in some of the communities and uh, doing like these things we had they were called traffic control points where we would be like somewhere for maybe like 48 hours, like just in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know, we would meet people who would bring us food, and you know what I'm saying. The kids would bring watermelons or fruit and things like that. Sometimes you saw people that you know, like in some of the markets that some of the villages that uh, they kind of understood why you were there, but at the same time, uh, like those people are vicious. You know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of times, one of the things that we didn't take in consideration is being in another country like that. You know, everybody initially isn't, you know, pretty much a soldier or somebody that's your enemy or a surgeon, as we call them. But a
Yeah,
lot of things were created by us being there. You know, neighborhood gangs that got tired of, the raids that happen where you kicking people doors in like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning and taking every military age male that what I'm saying that's in a whole fucking village,
yeah.
innocent or not. You take them and like it's a lot of stuff that it's our procedure and we do it and it's just the way we have to do it. But it creates, you know, it creates uh, a negative outcome sometimes as well because imagine if you were in your bed and you had to think about just the thought of that happening because we were you know being invaded and you know a war was going on and somebody come in and took you and they release you, you know what I'm saying, once they find out you weren't doing shit. But
Yeah.
just that continually just to happen and everybody, everybody ain't so friendly.
Now, did you have to experience like was you in any firefights?
I had firefights, man. I had like
Shit.
I actually had I had a firefight. I saw the IED explosions from afar.
Oh man.
I've been in them, like anything that you can probably think of, for as like what you probably would experience. I had a chance to either experience or be right there to witness. I had friends I lost. Like I had one of those jobs, and like I was one of those in one of those places to where we knew again like why we were there and what the possibilities were and what would happen. Like they used to always give us the debriefings and we want y'all to first understand like where you going and like it's a possibility everybody might. And that's the thing, like it's more about like that man next to you and man, you trying to make sure like all of us make it home. I was in the last area I was at in 2005 before I came home. I was with a group of guys and my platoon itself was 18 men. We were the only group out of I think it was like maybe five other groups of 18 or more who didn't lose anybody or have somebody seriously injured.
Damn, that's
And
fire
I'm
as
talking
hell.
about a blessing, like because like something was happening every day, and then like they put us in the shit because like what we did, and like we had, it was a certain type of vehicle we drove that threes. They're track vehicles, so they're a little bit more with up armor and stuff like that. You're not worried about them like being damaged like you are a Humvee. So like it was easy to send us out doing patrols and shit like that, or to do stuff. So
Hell
like
yeah.
I was never just sitting around, you know, that type of shit. A nigga was busy.
So like I be watching a lot of I be watching crazy ass shit on the internet, bro. I be on Twitter and I watch like I'm be watching 4K. I'm talking about 4K resolution
Right.
Ukraine drones just boom right into the soldiers and they just fucking explode and shit. The weapons y'all had, I know you had to deal with C4s. You was like
Right.
you was patrolling for bombs and shit like that. Did you also have to like look out for trash and shit? I heard military people do not like seeing trash on the street with that when that
That
comes to that
that's
shit.
that's how they do it. That's how they
Them
do it.
trash. They
Like
put the IEDs in the bags and
trash.
shit.
They might have like in a lot of areas like a lot of things have happened, just throughout the time, and a lot of you know damaged roads and things are blown up on roads. So you have like blowholes that we call them, where like
Damn.
something just
Where the water
blew up.
coming up.
Like it's like a pothole, but it's not really caused by like we know why it's there. But
Oh
anyway, so
yeah.
you have these spots where like they will put like explosives in this shit and put asphalt over it, and then you ride by that shit, they set that shit off.
Damn.
Or
Uh
they will put something in the road for you to go off the road, and they will have either landmines or some type of explosives, like again, like very set that shit off. Like it's all man, the motherfuckers are not dumb. I'll put it like that. They're not
hell
dumb at
yeah.
all. They changed the game when they actually started doing stuff like that.
That's what people thought about them. That's what people think about the Asians when they went to war over there in Korea and stuff back in the days.
Right,
They thought that they was just arguing. They was just fighting some farmers. Hell no, them niggas was smart. They knew what they was doing. That's why it
right.
was so hard. People. That's why it was so hard. They knew what they was doing.
And then the
Uh,
biggest thing too, like I always thought it was crazy because when you're over there in those countries like that, especially like being over in Iraq and Afghanistan the same way, you're not looking for nobody with a fucking uniform on.
nah,
You know what I'm saying?
they always wear
The
normal
same
ass
person
clothes.
that was at the market could put on an AK like as soon as you walk by. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't, not that that has happened to me personally, but it's happened in situations where like the same person that somebody's just walked by, that's just a civilian, is the person that, you know what I'm saying, that's kicking off the shit.
Now were they deep? Cause like for y'all to just go into a foreign country so far and like
Think about
you know
what
what
you
I'm
just
saying get
said.
busy.
Think about what
Yeah.
you not think about what you just said.
Now I know
We
y'all in a
we in
foreign
that shit
country.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deep, right? And not even that. You had other, you know, you had Syrians,
Oh, I
like
know Syria's fucked up
so
too.
like right. So you had people coming over actually helping. Like
Ah, damn,
we
that's
used to
fucked
get
up.
intel sometimes about like certain people coming in and doing certain things, and it was so funny because you could tell the difference. Like say for instance, we had this intel about these guys coming over for Syria, like doing like this shit, and they were like mortaring us every fucking day.
Yeah, damn.
We could tell the difference between those guys mortaring us and Iraqi guys. Them motherfuckers was accurate. They was dropping them bitches like Tom Brady, like you know what I'm saying. They were hitting like in
Damn.
the doorway. They were hitting our building. They were hitting Humvees. And they was doing this shit from a distance away. You know what I'm saying?
God damn. I know that shit
Right.
gotta be scary.
Like I mean, you wake up to shit like that. Like
Boom.
right. See, I walked past the area, and as I walked past and like walked up like steps going in like to like a post, all of a sudden like I can, and like that the shit you see on the movies where you hear like the that shit is never that long. That shit
Oh
is
no, that
fast.
shit's quick.
It's like real fast. Like, and if you hear that shit, it's already right there. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Everything
That's,
happens since I'm fast enough. I be watching that shit on
this
Twitter.
is
Like
this
that
is
shit's
how
crazy.
close I've had them motherfuckers. Like this is crazy, and I ain't think shit of it. That's the mind frame you get in because you're around that shit so much. I've walked by and them bitches hit boom, 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 and I'm sitting there and there's so much dust and shit in the air and like the dirt is hitting me and like the dust is like flowing by.
Damn, like you scared as hell. I ain't gonna
And
lie.
I'm like sitting there like, okay, like call that shit in and you know what I'm saying, and keep rocking.
So y'all would be chilling at the yeah. So they would pull up to y'all's base, or did y'all have to? Did
Nah, they would do that
were they
shit from a
was that
distance. Like
randomly?
they do that shit from a distance. They can do
Oh,
that shit from
they
a
just throw some
nice
bombs from a
ways away.
distance.
Yeah, like they throw these motherfuckers. It's like a tube that they put this shit in. And when they drop that bitch, they're shooting them bitches from like from long range, right? They
Cause
would
I
be
don't know
like
what.
a couple of blocks away,
Oh, true.
right? Right.
Cause I don't know what documentary it was, but these people was just on a mountain and they was on the base, and every day they were just shooting up in the mountains and shit. in firefights and shit every day and
Yeah,
shit like that.
that's Afghanistan most definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of shit going on in the mountains.
So
Yeah,
basically, y'all was just chilling in the base, and they would just pull up and bomb shit sometimes. Not pull
they
up,
would
but just those borders.
they would do that shit like regular scheduled programming. Like, you
Damn.
know what I'm saying? Like on routine.
Now,
Huh.
for the weapons y'all use, what I know it was kind of older, 2005. Did y'all have the high tech drones like we have now, or was y'all's kind of
Nah,
like
we had drones then. That's the thing. Like, actually, I had a guy who was kind of like my bunk mate. Like, we roomed together for a while, and he actually flew like a certain type of drone called the Raven that just did observation and shit. You know, like over areas like, you know, you'll have like certain areas that drones are patrol. You have certain areas that people will be like in like these observation points that you don't even fucking see. You know, like, but yeah, we were most definitely using drone. Like that's the other thing. Like, don't get this shit twisted. These motherfuckers been having like a lot of times before we get access to shit. That's like us getting drones, right? You got to
yeah,
think about it. This shit existed before we got it.
by
You know what I'm
civilians?
saying? Yeah, before civilians got drones, before we could be flying this shit around, you know the government took advantage of it first. Right.
Oh God. Yeah.
Right.
What's it
Shit.
called? When you did you how many drone kills did y'all get every day? Like that shit.
Well,
I used to use that shit a lot.
That's the thing. Like, I wasn't with a unit that used those type of drones. And even those type of drones, like that's some other type of shit right there. When you start like talking about like, you know, the weaponized drones. And that's something that I think yeah, you're gonna be like a little bit more advanced with that. And
Yeah, I be
then
watching the
that's
documentaries.
something that's used like, that's like those high level type of like missions and shit like that. You know, they're gonna use something like that.
Oh yeah, true. I be watching the documentary. They always have like a
You think
captain
about how
or
much
something
that shit
or a
costs.
sergeant. They be like the sergeant be like, "Yep, go ahead, boom." They just kill the
Right,
nigga.
right,
That shit
right,
does
right.
cost a lot. It's probably like what 5 bands a shot,
Uh,
10 bands a
uh,
shot.
yeah,
Probably more than that, honestly.
probably more than that, exactly. And then you
Way
looking at the
more
drone itself, because you know everything. It's always, you know, the government.
mechanical.
I put it like this: the government spends a lot of money like on contracts and things that people, you know, what I'm saying, weapons. And
That's what I was gonna
you,
get into next. Contracts. Now the military, they fight their wars. You know what I'm saying? But they also split into like another type of shit. What's up with these like bounties and shit, man? Like how these some of these soldiers get paid to catch certain bodies?
well, I think that's more of like again like contractor type of work, and you start talking about like more of high level, more like that, those high level type of missions and things like that. Which, you know, we hear about this shit, but you know, if you're not
Oh,
just,
y'all be talking, but they be gossip about it in the
you
barracks.
hear about it. Like, I mean, we hear about it like y'all hear about it, but we hear about it, you know, more first. We don't get like the scoop on anything. I mean, it's like uh areas of operations and shit like that. Like, it was plenty of times like when special forces guys like would just pop up just to let us know like that they're in our area, and like, okay, what the fuck are y'all on? It's like just
I
four
bet that
y'all
was shit
just
was
walking
spooky, nigga.
around and shit. Yeah, because they just walking around like four motherfuckers. Like, we go out like, you know what I'm saying, like 18 motherfuckers deep or some shit, you know what I'm saying, or at least, you know, 15 or some shit like that. It's like four motherfuckers just walking around, creeping around. Like, what are y'all on? You know what I'm saying? Like who are y'all looking for? You know, right, right, right. And
So
then
they
they
went
have
really
like,
to.
and not even that, like being there and like witnessing like shit like that. You look at them and then you look at yourself. They got different type of gear and gadgets and all kind of shit. Their fucking night vision is different, like all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Again, you going up another level now.
Oh God.
Right.
So you was just like basically just like basic soldiers and shit, but y'all would like go in and clear stuff, the
We
C
we
fours.
were we were or we would call it more like just front line, like
Yeah.
and not even that, like we had a specialty as well, you know what I'm saying? Like you have again like you have infantry, rangers, and uh different people that have like their specialties and jobs and what they do. Like everybody got their job, and my job was more of, again, like more of a frontline job. I went at the fucking. I didn't get to chill on the fob, you know what I'm saying, and fuck with chicks and all this other shit. Nah, like it was out there, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I was finna
I
ask
wouldn't
you
trade
about.
it though. I wouldn't trade it.
Oh shit, my character tripping. My server tripping. Oh yeah, I was finna say. See, in the barracks. Now you got different type of people in there. You ever have any like Now I know there's a lot of white people join the military as well. Was there any like gangs or something like that? Any like real gangs that kind of joined the military just to like strictly be America? You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, like I never ran into none of that. Mostly like I think like training and meet different people training and stuff like that. Now I ran into some weird motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like like that
Some
that
Aryan
had their
Brotherhood type shit.
I can't even really say that.
Just some
just
weird niggas.
weird.
Nerd
Like
geeks.
nerd geeks.
Not nerd
Uh,
geeks, army geeks, like people that's just real into that shit.
and then like just crazy shit. Like people like that. I didn't really understand like how they were there. Like that type of shit. I remember this one guy who nah, for real though. Like I remember this one guy who you think about it, like we in the military, we training and stuff, and how barracks and stuff works, and showers. You know what I'm saying? Like we had stalls, so it wasn't like the open like shit where we all like we had stalls. But I remember this one guy that would go and sit on this fucking bench, and he would fucking sit there, and guys would come in and take their showers. I got to noticing like I would been unfinished and come back. Why the fuck you sitting there? He's still sitting there. So maybe like the third time, like, bruh, nigga, you gonna take your shower? Like, why the fuck you just sitting here like all the goddamn time? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was kind of different. I'm not gonna say what he was because I don't know, but he was kind of
Oh
different.
hell
I had
no.
another guy that I remember like at the end of like some training, like he completely like went on some like zone, like blanked out type of shit, like not talking to nobody, just silence, more talking to himself. We didn't know if he was gonna try to do some weird shit to somebody, and
Oh
like
no.
right, like he was kind of crashed out. Like again, like you, right? It's some characters. I met this one little dude. It's so funny. Like he was capping from the fucking moment we met him. Like he had saved motherfuckers and all this other
We were making
shit.
up stories and
I
shit.
saved my captain. Like he almost drowned and I jumped in the fucking the
Oh
river and
hell no.
like he had all this other shit. Like he's talking about like ribbons and shit that he got before I even got in the military. I had got recognized and I'm like, oh, what the hell? And
It's
I'm
always
looking
one
at
of
this
them
dude.
niggas.
He puny as hell, like redheaded freckles and shit. Like he fit. I mean, like it was just so funny because I'm looking at him and like everything he's saying. But he had this one problem. I was a platoon guy, they called it. So I was like over like my platoon. Like I was
Oh, it's
like
fire.
the soldier that was over my platoon.
That nigga was looking out for everybody.
He
Nobody break the
wouldn't
rules.
fucking take a shower.
Oh, that's nasty as fuck.
So when I tried to check the shit, like he went on some other shit. And then he was like going to the PX, like buying weird shit. And then I found this fucking thing that he had made. It was like a fucking whip or some shit, bro. So like I tried to check this shit, bro, and then like he got mad at me and like just kind of like spazzing out. You always trying to boss people and you can't help. And I'm like, hold up, bro. Like, you not taking a shower. Like, these motherfuckers gotta live in here
Stinking
with you.
ass
Like,
nigga.
what are you on? Like, your socks turning fucking colors and shit. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, bro, he took the little whip thing out and just started like spazzing out and swinging that motherfucker. When I
Oh
say that
shit.
whip, that shit accidentally like just hit me a little bit and that shit must have took me back to somewhere. I had this nigga almost like hanging up out a fucking window. Like before I knew it, it was like a bunch of guys just grabbing me and like, no, 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 let him go, let him go.
Damn, I throw that nigga out the window.
Bro, I was about to throw this motherfucker out the window. You gonna hit a black man with a whip? Come on, bro.
That's fucked
Come
up,
on,
bro.
bro. You can't do that.
Now, before you had went to the military, what was you training at in the United States?
Man, I got
Like,
to
what base you
train
was at?
a lot of places. I did a lot of training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, because that's a lot of if you go into engineering, you probably gonna see Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Oh yeah, shout
Uh,
out all the military bases. I live
yeah,
over here by
yeah.
Fort Moore.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
about four
okay.
more. Down here in Columbus. And then
Columbus.
I want to see has any ever shady shit happened on campus? Like I heard about Fort Hood over there in Texas, man. Latina soldier went missing, man. Any crazy
Hold
shit
up.
ever
Did
happened
you
like that?
did you did you did you like really like look into that whole thing? That was happening
Yeah,
a
I look.
lot. That wasn't just
Yeah,
that one soldier. That was crazy.
they had a lot of
That
shit
was
going on
crazy.
over
I
there.
ain't gonna even lie though. That's the other thing too. Like females have it like rough. I ain't gonna even lie. Like in the military. I mean, you look at it. Most things where you have like a lot of males and you have like a lot of these people that like to take advantage of, what I'm saying, their positions and power, like
Yeah.
with anything that you deal with. And like
Oh, that's
that's one of
fucked
the
up.
things that's been brought to I think everybody's attention within the last maybe 10 years or so. And that is like uh a lot of the experiences that females have, whether it's sexual assaults or uh, again, guys that are trying to abuse their power and you know for whatever reasons. And uh, most females experience that shit. Most females that I've talked to that been in the military experience something, and now they even at the point to where like a lot of females are getting out and being diagnosed with like PTSD from like a lot of these experiences and shit like that as well. So like
Damn, I
when you
thought.
said something about that, like I
Yeah.
that makes me think about that particular thing because like I remember seeing that and I remember like not just hearing about that one particular female, but it began to be a thing like with several, incidents that were happening.
Hell yeah, I thought they was separated. They don't have any girl soldiers where they
Well,
teach the girls and they teach the dudes.
it's not really that. Like you had to think about it. We all still have to come together at some point. And then
That's true, yeah.
and even like say like with leadership, you know what I'm saying? Like your leadership might be a male. Like, it
Yeah.
might just be a male. Like and then you you just really can't keep motherfuckers apart. That's the other thing too. Like we still grown ups and we still gonna do what we do.
Damn, that shit's
Like
crazy,
like
bro.
like people gonna find a way even if they are separated.
Now, if you like, did they when you at war, like combat, like you're deployed, you're in the barracks. Do y'all have girl soldiers and dude soldiers together in those like type of?
Nah, a lot of times like your living conditions, again, like it's just one of those things where they try to, separate you by genders. And for the most part, I mean it works. I mean, I'm not I'm not saying like you can still like they have a lot of bases have like these little if they don't have tents, if it's not a tent city, like these huge tents where like they set up, they actually have like these foundations like almost like little floors and stuff,
Yeah.
if it's not one of those, it's like these little small two-man like trailer things. We used to call them tin cans. But I mean, we're grown, you know what I'm saying? So like I can still like go over there and holler or visit or chop it up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like even though you're separated, you still can like you know people find a
Hell yeah.
way. I put it like that. I saw girls. I remember when I was coming home from leave. I was coming home from leave, and I was traveling with other soldiers from my unit. It's a whole fucking almost like a 3 day fucking thing. Well, sometimes it can be longer than that. Just going from base to base, trying to get out of there,
Yep.
and you're grouped together. And one of the girls that we were with, we just kept noticing, like, bruh, like, the fuck she eating so much? I'm talking about she every time we got this opportunity to be somewhere to get something to eat, she was smashing. Like I'm talking about like going in. Man,
Damn.
come to find out her ass was pregnant.
Oh hell no, boy! He got pregnant by a soldier. That shit crazy.
Right. Shit happens. Shit happens.
That shit's funny as fuck. They be bad though. Them girl soldiers. They fit too. They fit in
I put it like this. I mean, the military is a whole different world. So I mean, it's like you gonna always there's levels to everything. You know what I'm saying? I always used to tell people though, like if I can tell you fine in your uniform, then you fine.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like in a uniform, like for real.
Them
Yeah,
hoes at
it'd be
McDonald's
some.
be baddies, bro.
uh, for real, if you can look good in a fucking McDonald's uniform, then I can only imagine like when you put some shit on. Hey, I feel you on that.
Now it might get a
Everybody
little
can't do
deep,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Might get a little deep real quick, you know what I'm saying? But in the military, have you ever had to unalive somebody?
I put on like this. I never went back to check.
Oh yeah.
I had firefights and different things like happen. Uh, we've had missions where we rolled up on. Uh, actually, remember I was talking about the Syrians that were more than us. We
Oh
actually
yeah.
had a whole mission where we uh actually had intel actually where they were, rolled up on them, and there was a whole lot of shooting. And who killed them? Like who knows?
Was it was y'all did y'all have a mix of different extremist groups, or was it just the Taliban?
Uh, it's a mix.
Because
It's
I know
actually a
you have
mix
all
because
type of fucking Islamic State.
that's the
Because
thing.
I
Like
know
you,
that's Syria, Islamic
that's
State.
the thing. Like the biggest thing is like I say, like you have different groups, you have different leaders,
Oh yeah.
you have all the different like from the villages to some of the small cities, and you have to think about again like the 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 enemies you create.
Mm.
You know, like so yeah, and it's always think about this, like because people would hear it back here. You know, like while we were over there, the minute you would hear about one leader or one group being taken down, it's always this other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always somebody. Like it was never like just a moment where uh, everything was just peaceful and nobody not like what I'm saying like over there doing something.
Oh yeah, facts. When you had got out the
It's the next
military,
person up. You know.
yeah. When you had got out the military, did you start getting into music?
Well, that's the thing. Like I was doing music. I was always in the music. Like I've done music. I've played these several instruments like since I was. I think the first time I probably picked up a guitar. I think I was probably like I played. I started out with pianos and keyboards when I was probably like 8. Probably picked up a guitar for the first time around maybe 12. Around about 16, I think I purchased the guitar.
Fire.
I didn't really like I think get serious about guitars even until I was like probably in my 20s.
Yeah, because I saw your
But piano,
Instagram page. I saw
yeah,
you with all the
right,
instruments.
right, little just a little something. Like but piano and keyboards are actually that's my primary instrument. So like I've always played that like just the musicianship, and then like I always tell people like my first instrument was my voice, so I've always sang. So music
Oh
has
yeah.
always been there. Hell, even over there. Nigga, you think I ain't have my laptop over there with Fruity Loops on that bitch?
Oh yeah, that shit
You
hard.
know
You
what I'm
brought.
saying? For real, bro. I made crazy beats over there. You know, when I just had time to just that was my escape
Iraq
actually.
type beat.
That was my escape. Like I would put my headphones on, bro, take out my laptop and shit, just go in.
Did you what's it called? Did
When
you
I got back though, I think it was more like now it's I can start to record and do stuff with people and really uh figure out a direction and that type of shit.
yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Did you ever get real serious about doing music?
I've uh I've opened up shows for Tank, Genuine, Silk, a couple other like groups, R&B groups. I've done like just live sets with like bands and stuff like that. I've produced for local groups, soul beats like online. I've done like compilations with other guys, other artists, and things like that, other producers. So to a certain extent, I have uh, and this is the biggest thing, like how success is measured, right?
Yeah,
My thing with music, because like I'm not, I understand the game, right? Especially like when you start talking about mainstream and how this works. I've been in the presence of musicians that have played on everybody from Beyonce to Chris Brown shit.
yeah,
So it's levels to this shit, right?
yeah. Facts.
Uh, my homeboy who plays for me, like he used to manage like one of the biggest quartet gospel groups, you know what I'm saying, in the US at one time. Uh, my biggest thing with music when I was younger is I always admired my dad and my uncle. They grew up like on some Jackson 5 type of shit. Like they were like little boys like playing in bands and shit that they in those clubs they didn't supposed to be in and shit like that.
Yeah.
And
I remember
my
that movie
dad,
Jackson 5 where they was
right,
the
right. You
stripper.
remember that? Right, right. You remember they like, what the fuck they doing up at that's my dad didn't want like that.
That movie was
They
fire as
played for
fuck.
this legendary blues singer called Bobby Rush. His name is Bobby Rush. They played for him when they were real young. And when I was coming up, my dad and uncle both played in a lot of bands and gospel and shit like that. But they were cold blooded musicians. Like
Oh wow.
everybody knew like who they were and what time it was when they picked up a guitar.
What that was? That
So
was
when
like
I got to
70s, 60s.
uh most definitely, like, I mean, they played a lot of like type of shit, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like I said, like transitioning from like playing like the 70s shit they grew up on to the 90s shit. Like I can remember like their bands like practicing like Bobby Brown shit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Uh but my thing was if I could ever get to that point to be able to play with them, like on that level, like to where
You
I could,
succeeded.
right,
Hell
right.
yeah. I feel you.
So
Hell
when I
yeah.
got to that point, and I didn't even get to that point, and I think like I never even thought about it, like getting to that point, where I can just hold a note and just play with them and stand in. And, I play guitar with my dad. Them like, of course, I used to play board for them sometimes, like for different like little occasions, just to be able to sit in and look at all the other musicians, who either admired them or who they played with and what they were doing. One of my best friend's father, who I call my uncle, who's also my dad's best friend. The actor Stegall, the fat dude to be doing the karate and shit. He used to always come to Memphis, and he had this band that he did stuff, and he would always call him to play guitar.
Oh
You know what I'm
fire.
saying?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
right, right. So like, it was a lot of people around me that knew people because of again what they were doing, and it wasn't about like, what I'm saying, like that mainstream shit. And no, like these guys again, like it's levels to this shit. Like they can sit in the same room, what I'm saying, with some of these same people that people go crazy over when they hear their music. And these people are sitting in the room because they dependent on this nigga for a certain sound, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Hell yeah.
right. And I mean, like I've had my moments too, I've had, opportunities. Like I said, I've opened up for some people and shit. And I got stuff on platforms that I promote even now. I remember a few years back having the opportunity to be in Atlanta on All Star Weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like on a radio station promoting shit. Like
Hell yeah. All
if
Star
you know
Weekend
anything
lit as
about
fuck.
right, if you know anything about Atlanta, and when they had the All Star game, that was a crazy weekend. Like
Oh
I remember
god.
my homeboys hit me up talking about, man, everything's nigga. I ain't paying for shit. I don't know what you talking about is expensive. Every place I popped into, it was like that type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like so,
They just
like
let you in there.
just in there, just in
Is
there.
it like is because like from your dad doing a lot of stuff, or you just like from your like music and stuff?
I think it's the music thing was just hereditary. Like it's one of those things that it's just passed down from generations. My granddad actually was also a blues musician,
Oh
so
yeah.
right. I didn't even realize for a long time like why my dad or how he even ended up playing guitar until like one day he told me, take this guitar down to your granddad and let him tune it up for you. And I looked at him like, let him tune it up. And then it was like the light bulb, like how the fuck could I not? Like of course, like it would make sense, like you know what I'm saying. But I ain't never think about it.
Hell yeah. And then what's it called? What age were you when you first recorded your first song?
Yeah, I was young as hell when I first recorded. I remember I had this Korg uh workstation. If you know anything about those workstation keyboards, they're made for production. You
Oh
can
yeah.
sequence and do all everything. You got some crazy sounds too. But
Damn.
I had figured that shit out and started like producing. And I knew this guy and I hit him up because I'd always writing was never an issue. It's like straight poetry and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit came hand in hand, writing poetry and music.
Yeah,
So when I
poetry.
was young
Yeah.
as hell, you know what I'm saying, going in and out of little relationships and all that shit, writing little love songs. And I think I had I think me and this girl was going back and forth, and I wrote this song, and I was like, I'm gonna record this shit, and I hit him up. I think I was like probably like right there in my freshman year of college. Actually, I hit him up and recorded that joint, and I think then that was my moment too when I realized like that I was gonna be probably like doing like like just the audio engineering and stuff because I felt like he fucked up my mix. I could
Oh
hear
yeah.
it. I could hear it. Like it was irritating the shit out of me. It was like my shit don't sound like his, and like it's like like I'm not too sure about this. And then from that point, it was like, okay, if I'm producing already, if I'm hearing something in my mix that's not right, I'm just gonna do this shit myself.
Hey, because that's how you know it's a smooth mix. If you listening to the song and you just love that shit, and that's how you know it's a good mix. If you listening to the song and it makes you mad to hear your own
It
voice,
sounds good, bro, but it was just it wasn't like
it wasn't.
it
Yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't
it wasn't
I
that
could just
radio.
tell it right. It wasn't there. Like and I'm like, nah. Like you didn't do me like you would do your shit. And that's
Yeah,
the thing. Like I'm hearing his shit and how his shit sounding like why
people do
that
that.
shit
They don't
sound
even
like
be knowing. I don't
people.
think they do it on purpose though. For real, for
And
real.
that's what I said. And and the reason why I said that is because I know how easy it is for me to mix my voice versus somebody else's because I
Oh
mix my
God,
voice so much. You know what I'm saying?
because you hear
So
yourself
what I
talking
do, I
every day
make
too.
sure I just put that effort in to get shit right. Because again, like uh, I know it is easy to, what I'm saying, to mix your shit, what I'm saying, have your shit like on point, and then somebody else is like damn, why mine don't sound like yours? Yeah, I'm doing my shit all the time. Like it's like boom, 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 like, and I'm there. Versus a new voice where I might even have to hold up, bro. Like let's re-record that, get in the mic a little more, like you know what I'm saying, like just little small shit to make sure that I capture your voice and get the fullness to be able to like to get that shit to sound right.
Hell yeah, that's
So I'm
good.
gonna I'm gonna get in the mic, and niggas got this habit of wanting to be like all back, like bro, get in the fucking mic, like what the fuck.
Oh God. So you also doing music and stuff now? Did you always have you always been drawing your whole life as well?
I've drawn my whole life. Drawing is uh it was easy because I always say like coming from the generation of before the iPhones and all this other shit where like you was distracted by a phone. If we weren't
Yeah,
playing the games or outside, you know what I'm saying? Like
coloring
what
book.
else were you doing? Right, right. You can take out a tablet, you know what I'm saying? You can get some sheets of paper and a pencil. That's easy. Ain't nobody complaining about you, you know what I'm saying? Like you doing that. Like and I think I was probably about 5, like in kindergarten, when they figured out I could draw. I drew something, and then they was taking it like all over the school and shit, like trying to show everybody.
Yeah,
Like
that shit was
I didn't.
hard,
I'm a
nigga.
little kid though, so you had to imagine. I'm like, hey, give my drawing back. Like, what the fuck y'all? Like, what y'all doing? Like, I want my shit back. Like, they want to take it and show everybody and shit. But yeah, I didn't think, I didn't think none of it either because I'm just drawing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then of course I start to realize, I guess, like later on, like you know, you start to see like you do this better than your peers.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like certain little things. Me and my peers would draw sometimes, and I'd be trying to make out what the fuck they drawing, and I can't. And they telling me, "Yeah, this is this," and I'm looking like I don't see none of that shit. And I
They
show
be
them my shit, and my shit is plain as day. I got in trouble like on some shit. Like
Damn.
me and my peers, like probably like by third grade, everybody wanted to draw like some crazy shit. Like so, one of my friends was like, "Let's draw somebody having sex." And at that
Ah,
age, like I done saw some shit because I had older cousins that used to sneak and watch put on porns and shit. Like what I'm saying. I'm the little dude. You know what I'm saying. I ain't like saw shit that I ain't need to see and it's supposed to see.
that shit used to creep me out,
You
bro.
know
I
what
ain't
I'm
gonna lie, that shit
saying.
used to scare me.
So my friends doing this shit, they can't draw though. This is the thing. They can't draw. So we drawing this shit at the little table. We fucking third graders, you know what I'm saying? And once we finish, everybody's like, what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is this. And look at the woman. I'm looking at this shit again, like, bro, I don't see none of that shit, you know. And they look at my drawing and it's like plain as day. This little white guy grabs my shit and take it to the teacher.
This thing, hey, was you using shade? What in this day, like elementary, was you shading and all that, or just like
Bruh,
lines?
it was like 2D. Like it was
Oh
obvious. It was
damn,
plain as day. Like I never drew stick figures. I never drew like a stick figure, a figure that looked like, like just out of proportion. Like, no, you can see the man hair, you can see him on top of the woman, you can see his, you know what I'm saying? And then like
the
this is the crazy part. This is the twist. This is the twist. So one of my friends, I remember this shit. Like I got a good memory, like shit like this. I remember one of my friends, he was like drawing extra shit. Like I'm gonna put a little boy right here, like blah blah blah. I was
oh
like,
the
so
fuck.
so 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 me, I'm like, I'm gonna do something too. I'm gonna put a little boy walking through a door. So I put a little boy walking through a door. So what do you think these people thought when they saw this shit?
Oh damn, they probably thought like you was like it was on some like fucking
Like I
like
walked
probably
in
like
on my fucking folks
yeah.
type of shit. Like so they got my parents like all out here. So how's y'all family life at home? And blah, blah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh god, they started questioning your parents.
I swear to God, bro, my folks were so mad, bro. They were so fucking pissed off. And again, like this shit didn't come from anywhere but my fucking imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and daddy, where you get this shit from? Where you saw this? Where you see this from? Like, what made you draw this little boy right here? I'm like, Damien told me to draw it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit funny
Damn.
as hell, yo.
Now
I
everybody
never
got that
forget that.
go. Oh god, that shit's crazy. That's a
I
core
never
memory
forget
right
that.
there.
Oh, my dad, he kept that drawing like because they kept that shit on my file like at school. And my
Oh
dad had a
hell
copy
no.
of that shit. He kept in a drawer like for a long time. He would always remind me, "You remember that shit you did? You had them folks bringing us to the school questioning us."
That's
He
funny
would
as
like you
fuck.
joke about it, right?
Every time you pull up to the crib, you probably pull that bitch out. Like, look at this nigga. Look what you draw, nigga.
Bruh, that shit was. I ain't gonna lie. That was probably my first like a moment of really like knowing like what it felt like to feel embarrassed. I
Oh yeah,
guess you
that
could
shit's
say,
crazy.
right?
I remember one time in art class, I didn't even know. I don't think I'm good at drawing them. For some reason, we was using pastels. I like them little
Pastels.
pastel things, and
Yeah.
I drew a motherfucking banana. They said that shit was hard. I was like, hell yeah. But shit,
I
I
can
was just
see with the pastels, the soft colors and shit. Yeah.
yeah. I fucked the pastels. That shit was fun, nigga. Art class,
Yeah.
bro. Art class was a W, bro. I fuck with art class heavy. That shit was always fun. Shit, I used to
Yeah.
make paper mache, like blow the balloon up, then paper mache that bitch, and make some
Right.
shit.
Right. Right.
That shit was
Just being
fun, nigga.
creative, man. Like, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Cause
And that
kids,
shit is
bro, I
always a
remember we
vibe.
was creative as fuck. I was creative.
Yeah, that's how I was. I was always fucking with something like, he's trying to make something or tearing some shit up to try to make something.
And then as a kid, like when you used to draw a lot, we all got our go to things that we like draw. Mom was like cars and shit, and like I used to like draw people with drip. What was your favorite thing
I
to draw?
went through that phase of cars. I ain't gonna even lie.
Got to. That's just mandatory, bro.
Cars,
The whole class too
cars,
having a competition. Who gonna draw the
going
best car? And it was always that
crazy,
one
going
nigga that would copy the damn magazine
hell
with.
yeah, hell yeah, 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 always. And then like I think too, like I think one of my I used to always like to do like just the superheroes and shit like that, or just creating motherfuckers,
Oh yeah, hell yeah, superheroes
just
good.
creating like your own like that's something me and one of my homeboys used to do because I had a couple of friends that actually could draw a little bit. And I remember like being young and like we would always try to make like our own characters. Make like our own little comic books and make like the little flip books and shit. Like I draw like the dude running, like he'll jump and dunk the ball or some shit.
That
Yeah,
shit hard.
yeah, we would do all that shit, bro. Like just sit there, like any fucking notebook I had, probably as a teenager, the back of that motherfucker, like the cardboard part, that bitch
Oh yeah,
was
cardboard.
probably like decked out with like all kind of shit, just all kind of graffiti type of shit. You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
best part of drawing right there.
It's hell yeah, hell yeah.
I, I was
I used
gonna
to
ask you
draw
that.
on
You ever?
desks.
Oh yeah.
I go ham on the desk. Walk out that bitch and teacher be mad as hell. I uncovered the whole
Like
desk.
God damn, what the hell you done put on that bitch?
I drew a whole picture. Like you got a mural on the desk. Like
That nigga got bored as hell, drew a whole
bored
motherfucker.
as hell. And I finished my work and you think I'm back there with my head down. I'm drawing the whole fucking time. Yeah.
And I know you got Pier 11. Shout out Pier 11. We touched on that earlier. That shit's fire ass world. What how the hell do you draw on them boards? You be sketching, right? You be sketching first, cause I see you draw fast, like little lines, like real fast
It's
and shit like that.
it all depends. Like and that's the crazy part because like drawing with that like little utensil, that little pen, marker, pencil, whatever you want to call it. Uh like once you figure out like just the little calibration, like the sensitivity of it, like I got like several different techniques. Like sometimes it's more of like a scribble type of form. Sometimes it's like just kind of like contour lines they call them, where I'm just more drawing like the form of like whatever I'm drawing and getting that, and then adding the detail. I figured out little ways to shade. Uh, just just figuring it out. It's kind of like I was telling somebody I think people that draw, uh, we can probably create an image with anything. How detailed it would be, it's a whole different story. I mean, it's like if you spill like some salt right here,
Oh
like I
yeah.
could probably like make a jump man out of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like so now you take, now getting this utensil that I've never used before, that I gotta hold my whole fucking arm out like this. It's more of like getting used to, right? Because bro, like you're not like right
That
here.
shit
You're
don't be
not right
steady
there.
at all, too.
Like you got to hold your arm, like your whole fucking arm is extended. So now it's like finding like almost like the calibration of that shit. And then like that shit is sensitive. Like the minute you press that
Yeah,
fucker and make a movement, like it's marking. So now it's like keeping a steady hand, and I think you build all that up too. Like
bro got steady hand perks.
repetition, bro. Like repetition. Bro said the steady hand perks. Yeah, I think the repetition though more than anything. And let me tell you some slick shit. Like when I really started drawing a lot up in here, I was working, or I still do. I work out like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Actually, tomorrow's a workout day. I would come from the gym sometimes, right? And I did arms, and I would jump in and take a smoke, and I would draw. And I'm talking about I would feel my arms like just. But
Damn.
at the same time, I could feel that shit was building up, like again, like that steadiness, like because now, like once I rested and I come back, like I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like people that play basketball, like, and you if you lift weights, right, and you go and shoot, you know what I'm saying, to kind of like calibrate your jumper, you know what I'm saying, like after you lift to kind of like adjust. So I felt like it was almost adjusting, like sometimes, like, and again, like repetition more than anything. The more I did that shit, the steadier that shit got. People see me drawing sometimes, like, how the fuck you keep us? I'm thinking to myself, like, my shit can't be that steady. But at the same time, I get it. Like, I guess to make certain lines, you have to be.
Oh god, that shit like an illusion too. Do you kind of like? Is it like some is it math going into it, or y'all just kind of make lines go into each other and make kind of like an illusion?
For me, because of again, like just different styles of drawing, it's it's more of a like sometimes I draw with intent, right? Meaning
Yep.
like I know what I'm gonna draw. Like I know like I'm finna draw a specific thing. And then other times it's more of just seeing like where it goes, like making a mark and just hell, whatever that shit, whatever I see from that fucking mark, like boom, just go into it. And then you end up like with a whole fucking creation. Um But I think for anybody, I think that draws or paints, the biggest part is just if your mark is intentional or unintentional, finding a way to still create the image, you know, because you want whoever to look at it just to see the image. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really whether you're scribbling, whether you're drawing a straight line, whether you're, you know what I'm saying, use whatever technique you're using, it's just really finding a way to make the image. Think about you using the pastels and making a banana, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like like I'm pretty sure like you use yellow, you know what I'm saying? All right.
Hell yeah.
Everything's with that intent of making a fucking banana. Like I want you to see a banana. You know what I'm saying? You want to grab like red and try to draw a banana. You know what I'm saying? So everything is like just with the intent of like just creating an image, like and somebody being able to see it. I've
What's it
done like
called?
I've done small stuff. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm gonna point this out. I've done small stuff like tell somebody like to draw like this little zigzag, like this little like swirl, like almost. And then like once they do that, I have them like draw this other like it's almost like a U, and they just draw it like and come around, go around, go around. And once they finish, they always stop and like, oh, I just drew a flower. I knew what I was trying to get you to draw. They had no idea. They just kind of followed the process. And that's what it is, just knowing the marks to make, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, just knowing the fucking mark to make.
Hell yeah. Hey Brody, you got us in the crowd and shit. We live
Oh, for
right now
sure.
and shit. What's it called? What was I gonna ask? Um, oh, who you look up to like the artists and shit, like people that do artists like you got calls, you got Makarumi, you got Takashi Makarumi and shit like that. You got a whole bunch of other artists. You look up to any of those?
I don't keep up with a lot. I mean, I've kept up with some, you know, here and there. And, you know, you see, you know, because me being like somebody that's creative, you know, I do see stuff, you know, but I don't really lock in like too much on anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Only because like a lot of I think my influence just kind of comes from uh again like just being naturally able to draw, and then just everything that I see for as like the culture and the things that the people kind of in tune with
Oh yeah,
uh
oh yeah, I feel you on that. You ever got into the graffiti
different
scene?
vibes, even like with certain drawings, like just the feeling that it creates and stuff like that. So I always been like kind of one of those creators. But I mean, it's a lot of dope. Uh, like shout out to like the artists. I mean, it's a lot of dope artists out there. But I just never been one, especially even with music. You know, like I listen to a lot of stuff, but at the same time, like a lot of my stuff, like I can't really say like who I will be influenced by, because it's more of just coming from a place of like feeling, you know,
Oh
and
yeah, I
not
feel you.
necessarily being influenced by a particular person, but more just feel.
What's it called? What's your favorite style of drawing? You got anime, you got
I
modern art, urban, all type of shit.
ain't gonna lie, I fucks with the urban.
Yeah, I like the
I,
urban style.
I fuck with a lot of the urban style. Now don't give me like modern art and of course anime, like, and I mean it's a lot, you know, but with more of the urban stuff again, because that kind of like falls in line of, you know, like again like my influence, you know, like that whole urban vibe, and just, you know, I think that's more of the the place where the generation where we kind of come from too. You know,
Hell yeah, hell yeah. What's your when you would start to sing? What's your favorite song to sing when you open
shit,
up?
shit, that's a crazy one. I don't know. I ain't gonna even lie though. Lately though, my go-to song has been that Daniel Caesar shit.
Oh yeah.
That Get You shit. Like that's been my go-to only because like it's one of those songs that nigga, I can have allergy problems or whatever the fuck. I know I can still sing it, and then like it's a vibe like type of song. People hear that, down, 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 down. You know they right,
Start
they
turning
there.
up
You
with
know what I'm
that
saying?
bit.
Right, right. They ready. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you just got to sing the damn song. back in the day though, like I ain't gonna lie, like man, shit, you just had so much shit. Like I think I used to sing a lot of music soul child. Still do, but most definitely a lot of music soul child. It wasn't shit to bust out singing that love, you know what I'm saying? Like you start singing that and you hit a couple of notes, like motherfuckers know you can sing, you get so far and you don't even have to sing the whole song.
They start going like,
Right,
ooh.
right, right. Then you stop, you just hold off then, like can't give them all of it.
So boom. Have you been a gamer your whole life? Have you grew up with video games and shit like that?
Man, I've been a gamer my whole life.
Hell yeah, same brother. Same
I
brother.
can remember Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Super
Uh,
Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was this
right.
broke.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. You see, they just dropped the college football, right? See, that was my
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I used to play the shit out of college football, bro. Like that, I ain't never been in the like. I can play Madden. Like, don't get me wrong, I can play that shit because I
Yeah,
understand
same.
football. But college football, that was the shit that I went from house to house beating motherfuckers in. Like that was my shit. Yeah, yeah. So
They just
yeah, that's
re-released that shit.
yeah. They had to, man. Like they had to. They had
What's it
to.
called? Um, how did you come upon VR, virtual reality?
You want to know something? I got a homie, and it's so funny because he dropped in on me not too long ago because he's not really into the Horizons thing,
Yep.
and he was kind of amazed like when he dropped in like on me and a couple of friends because he didn't know like we be in here kicking it like this. But he's the one that actually introduced me to the whole headset because he had his over at one of my friends. And they was on the same typical shit, when people first got the headset. Look at this game, let's walk the plank and all that other shit. And I'm like,
Oh
okay, whatever, whatever. But then I
yeah.
saw I saw the boxing shit. I saw that Creed shit, and I was like, oh
Oh yeah.
shit, like I can fuck with that, like, cause I work out with a weight vest sometimes. And I was thinking to myself, like, I can put my weight vest on and like put this shit on, and like that'll be a nice workout, which it is. That shit. So when I initially got it, I got Creed, and I had like a couple like workout apps, and I would do that, and it was so crazy because at the time, for some crazy reason, it was like saying like Horizons wasn't available in my area or some shit, and I can remember the NBA playoffs were going on, and it was like, watch the NBA playoffs with your friends and Horizon. It was like doing that shit. And I'm like, damn, that's dope. Like, you can watch the game with some people and shit.
Oh
I
hell
tried
yeah.
to
Like, hey, I'm
download
gonna
the
watch this
shit.
shit.
Right. I tried to download the shit. Still won't let me download it. And then
Damn.
one day, playoffs and everything were done. It was like maybe like sometime in the fall and shit. I looked on my phone. I was on the app and it was like install, you know, app. And I'm like, oh shit, it's let me install this shit now. And I clicked that shit and installed it. Maybe like a week later, I was about to take a smoke and I was like, let me put this shit on and like check this shit out. I put this shit on. The first place I popped in was the plaza, right?
Oh yeah.
So I remember like I had this shit on and my girlfriend at the time, she had come outside and I was like sitting on like a little back balcony. And I walked onto the plaza and I can see people from a distance and I can hear like the voices being thrown. Like I was like, damn, this is kind of dope. Like it feel like they're like off in the distance talking and like, man, this is. And I can hear people having a conversation. I kind of rose my headset up a little bit and I was telling her, I was like, yo, some people over there talking. This guy was like, hey, Mike, you eavesdropping. I hear you. You eavesdropping. You eavesdropping. I was like, nah, bro. I'm new. I just, I'm saying, y'all over there in the cut talking like this shit, it's like kind of mind blowing. I walked around a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I think I ended up jumping in the stew, jumping in the
Damn.
stew, a couple other places. And it probably took me maybe like a couple of days and I found Black Magic. And I think once I found Black Magic, and just over there vibing and somebody was like, you do anything? You sing? I was like, yeah, I sing. You should sing a song. I was like, sing a song? Like motherfuckers ain't really singing. I heard somebody get up on the stage and sing. I'm like, oh shit, like they really up in here like singing and shit. And I'm kind of like, I know I sing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, okay, like, should I sing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, fuck it. I sang a song, and like ever since then, it's been on and popping, like on some
Yeah,
real
yeah.
shit,
You
on
sing
some real
fire,
shit.
man. I don't know who better singer, man. You or Naima, bro. Y'all both on the leaderboard.
Naeem's a good singer. She just don't take the shit serious enough. Cause she too busy about like I used to tell her like you can do like a lot of stuff and take advantage of a lot of stuff in this app, like in VR itself, because it's only an extension of your reality.
Yeah,
That's why we
facts.
call it virtual reality, meaning like don't jump on here to try to be something you're not. You're still dealing with like you're still the same person behind the headset. So it's like what are you doing when you get up here and what's your intent? Like I give kudos to anybody that do a platform like this or that does a world and actually run it like a business that does events, uh people that again try to make money up in here that are even not monetized, because again like it's either you're up in here doing something or you're just a consumer.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what kind of consumer are you? Are you keeping up shit? You know what I'm saying? Are you, what I'm saying, just in the cut watching? And I think it's more people that are consumers that just keep up shit than anything. And I don't think we have to even speak on like that part. I think we know like she get caught up in a lot of shit. But that was my advice, you know what I'm saying, again, like to her, because again, like you got to take advantage of like what you do, your talents. Because what happens is
Hell
now
yeah.
like why would somebody know you for something other than singing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? you know?
Hell yeah. Fire singer, fire singer. I'm also finna open up this like this little live thing where I record people singing. They
All
could
right.
sing, or I could just like what I'm saying, put a song over that shit, whatever, however they want to do it. But
Oh,
hell
that'd be
yeah,
dope.
y'all got to pull up to that shit. I already told
Oh,
Naima
you
and
already
shit.
know I'm gonna pull up.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna get one built real soon and shit. It's gonna be fire. The
For
Oxy
sure,
Studio
for
or
sure,
something like
for
that.
sure. Yeah, I
Shit.
fucks with it. I
Let's
fucks with it.
see.
I'm sitting over
Oh,
here the
what
whole
was your
time. It never
favorite
flamed
game?
up.
Oh yeah, you said NCAA. If you could choose PC, console, or Oculus forever, what would you choose? PC, console, Oculus, the game on.
You want to know something? I would choose the PC probably because you can still go in the VR on it, motherfucker.
Smart, smart. I didn't know if you would
and
get
I
it
can
or not.
and
That
I,
was
and I
smart.
can still play all the games I play on PlayStation. Yeah, I get it. I'm a gamer. I get it. Most definitely would choose a PC. Then like
I be
you
trying
can
to tell
just do
people,
more, bro. Like you know how that shit work with the PC and like some, bro. Like especially playing GTA. Wait till this new. I'm waiting for this new GTA to drop and then see what they gonna be doing like on this PC shit. Like
yeah, I'm
I'm just
saving. I've
looking
been
forward to
saving right
seeing.
now. I'm saving up for like the ultimate setup because when GTA 6 drop, that's literally a career. Like you know what I'm saying? People, you can go up from that. That's a career starter,
You
bro.
really can. You
And
really
yeah, I'm
can.
not saying you gotta do that shit the rest of your time you YouTube, but that's something to
Right.
get you boom booming
And if you got
fast.
a following already, then like why not?
Oh god, that
You know
shit's
what I'm
gonna be
saying?
crazy.
Just add that on into it. And that's what T
Let's
Grizzly
see.
did. He just took his following from doing the music and took it into that shit. You know what
Oh
I'm
god,
saying?
that role play.
Right.
What are your plans in the future of VR? You plan on taking Pier 11 over to VR chat because in VR chat tri mesh you can actually put real pictures that you actually draw onto the walls and stuff, and you can
Right.
make like a real deal museum. You know what I'm saying? You ever plan on
Right. Right.
expanding your VR Horizon
That's
World stuff?
something that's something that's most definitely a great possibility. And not necessarily I thought Pier 11 being over there, but uh again that would, I'm pretty sure in time that would be something that would come up, only because I have had those conversations too about uh doing something with real art. I actually have I did Pier 11 with Thunder Bills, and he actually has another space that he kind of offered me the opportunity to put real art in that, with Trimesh that's in here in Horizons. So to be able to do Pier 11 like in VR chat, it would most definitely be like the lane to do it and to do it like that. I have I think the biggest thing right now, my plans, like when I think about the future, it's a lot of dope people. Dope. Hold up.
Oh
Now
yeah,
I
me
gotta get the
too.
plan.
I was rolling too when you was talking about the military. That military shit fascinates me, man.
Yeah, man, it's a different world. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a. I used to always jokingly tell people that's why they say military, civilian. It's two different lifestyles. Like you have to adjust to that shit.
Really, the bounty side of that shit, and also people. I know Americans they sign up to be in the Ukraine army too. You can do all type of shit like that.
And that's all type of possibilities. I mean, even like now, like uh having military experiences, it's contracted work that you can do. You know,
Yep, like a
I
security
I
guard.
was I was security, like all kind of shit. Like say for instance, I was pulling security for these motherfuckers, and not only pulling security, I was doing the same job they were doing. This is in 2005. I was clearing these bunkers out that have like they were like man caved in, like a lot of them like just time and weather and like I don't know if like anything happened in particularly like for as like with the war that other than just them being old. This was some shit that Saddam had, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh, that voice of Dom.
right. So we're clearing these bunkers. We're it's live explosives in this shit. Like it's I'm talking about these motherfuckers are the size of walking in like a small little warehouse. But a lot of them like are again like caved in and like it's crates of shit spilled. Some shit is in the ground, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit. And we're taking it and removing it and putting it in the crates. And uh pretty much it's like a removal procedure. And because we work with explosives and we're familiar with shit like that, like live rounds and all this other shit, we're ideal to do this. But we're working with civilians that are contracted. Big thing though was I'm pulling security for this motherfucker who's doing the same job I'm doing, and then I gotta protect him, right?
Yeah,
I'm making like 30 some thousand dollars that year tax free. I'm talking to a dude who's like, yeah, this is my first time, man. I think I'm gonna come back over next year. I'm making like 120 this year. Hold up, what?
damn.
You
How you
making
get?
what?
That's crazy.
Those contracted jobs, man. Like, and then again, having military experience pays so much fucking more for you
Yeah,
practically doing the same thing sometimes that you were doing, like when you were like in, you know, again, if you specialize in certain things, I would tell people all the time, especially young guys, like never rule out like the military, especially the Air Force. 'Cause the Air Force, they do a lot of technical things that, again, like thinking about later being in a civilian situation where you can probably be making some good money, and not even making some good money. Even when you get out of the Air Force and now you're working for the government as a civilian, you're still building on your retirement with the military.
oh yeah, hell yeah. You get a good little, yeah,
It's
you
a
get
double
little
whammy, right?
benefits.
Right.
Of course, like military, like I mean, it has its bad things, but like a lot of you don't even got to go
Everything
to the
does.
military. You don't even got to go to the military to be in combat.
That's the
You-
part, and that's why I was like, it, man, like it's certain type of jobs, especially for like if you're not a dummy, you know what I'm
You
saying?
can be a
Like,
hacker, nigga. You like,
right, right. Like most people who, again, like can go to like your basic jobs and function. I'm pretty sure can get like certain jobs, like what I'm saying in the military. And again, like at the Air Force, I can't stress that shit enough. I got cousins right now who, like, they're still working with the government, like making great money, and that's where they started out, with the Air Force. They're not in the Air Force. They've been out the Air Force for years. One of these motherfuckers, I don't know what he be doing, man. This nigga, I don't know. I think he worked with the feds or some shit. Like he like that nigga on Martin. But you don't know what his job is, but he got a job. Like Tommy.
oh yeah, that nigga Tommy on there. That should be
Yeah.
funny as fuck.
Yeah, he like Tommy on Martin. Like, nigga, what exactly do you do? Like,
You ever run across a lot of hate on the metaverse?
you want to know something? I don't get a lot of it. I see a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Only because like I don't fuck with a whole lot of people for one. Like, meaning like, you know, my interactions are like, if I fool with you, like I've been knowing you like, for a little while, like probably since you've been on, like, from Black Magic and shit. So
Hell
like
yeah,
people who I've chopped it
November.
up with and like had like conversations with, you know what I'm saying? Like we chop it up. I see them like it's what's up, stuff like that. I don't go over here and get into people's shit, none of that
Yeah,
extra shit. Like I don't give a damn like who you don't like. I can be right here and another person can be right there and both of y'all can be into it. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Like, so I don't get into all of that dumb shit. So
yeah. I never see you getting into nothing for real.
like anything that kind of happens, like it's probably somebody like trying to troll who, like, if they trying to troll, and I feel like I want to have like one of my moments where, like, like I kind of like, kind of go back at them a little bit or fuck with them a little bit. Other than some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I stay away from it. And don't get me wrong, like I ain't dumb either. Like niggas be hating, like every now and then you had that dumb motherfucker that, you know what I'm saying? Like I say some slick shit because they mad because the attention you might get because I mean, man, like what the fuck, nigga, I sing like nigga, I've been singing on this shit, like
Yeah,
or so they might say some slick shit. I might, and then like vibes too. Like I'm an energy person, like I can tell people energy sometimes. I can read a room, like like so like. But at the same time, like, long as you don't say shit, I'm cool.
hell yeah.
Now you can feel how the fuck you want to feel. That's not my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, your feelings are not my business. Like, now, if you say something to me, that's a whole different story. But how you feel inside, that's why that shit is inside of you. Cause I can't see it. Real shit. Like, it's not my business.
Do
So
you oh, you got any new music coming out or any new worlds coming out or any new
yo,
events in the worlds? Cause I know you be hosting concerts and shit. That
yeah,
should be fire.
actually, we're gonna do. I was aiming for this weekend, but I had to change it because we have a lot. I say we because shout out to the Zen Royals. Uh, we have a lot of artists that are real active right now, including the Bay Misses. Shout out to the Bay Misses, Round Rock, all y'all. Like we got stuff going on over in VR chat here soon, and
Hey,
actually it's stuff going on this weekend. They're doing a whole video release. The Bay Misses over there. So I changed my event that I was gonna do this weekend to actually next Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be the Art of R&B. I have several dope R&B artists locked in. I'll let you, tune in and check that out. I ain't gonna say no names just yet. I got one more I need to holler at. I think he gonna be game, but yeah, that's happening. And I'm starting a whole open mic night on Mondays. The Bay Misses they do a karaoke too on Mondays. I think around like 7 to 8. So I think we want to do a little vibe to where we can go from one place to the next. I'll probably start up maybe like around 8:30 or something over at Pier 11. Open mic. Goddess is gonna be hosting that. If anybody know my girl Goddess, my sis, one half of the Turn Up Queens. So we gonna
hell
be over
yeah.
there probably taking shots and some more shit. So be ready to have your bottle out. Uh, yeah, we gonna get that kicked off here. And just as far as worlds, like I say, right now just kind of focusing on Pure 11. New artwork too. About to drop. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be doing like this thing where probably like monthly, I kind of like cipher like kind of new work in. You know, uh, or maybe like a little bit over a month. Just kind of give people opportunity to see like whatever I put up. So with this event that we're coming up with, actually, I'm kind of thinking I want to drop this new artwork maybe Monday, like for the open mic. So be on the lookout for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like new artwork coming. And I think that's the cool thing too about drawing in here. I can always pull up at Black Magic and smoke one. and people watch for a second, see all the bullshit, see all the drama, go to the drawing board real quick, draw some shit up, snap a picture, boom. Like that's something I might be able to use, you know.
Oh yeah,
Like so, I can always create content, man. Like by choosing to do it like that, and that was something that I don't know. I think that's the niche in it, like being able to create something live, like live action, like right in the metaverse, and then display it for people to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was
yeah, that
done
shit's
in
hard.
here. It wasn't done in build mode. It wasn't done, you know what I'm saying? You know it was done like right there. And then it's a time limit on that shit too. So I'm fighting the time. Me and somebody was talking about that. A couple of homies that we draw, and we was talking about like, bro, people don't be thinking about that, bro. Like you fighting the timer. Like the timer is like, so like if you want to do something extra or color that shit or whatever, like you got to hurry up and do that shit before that shit started racing. Real shit.
Oh gosh, they're gonna have like little drawing contests and stuff too.
I most definitely gonna do that. I'm
That's gonna
I'm
be lit.
I'm noticing I'm having people finally come in and like they'll draw like on a drawing board and kind of post a drawing. And I want to create that, to where people get used to doing that. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start having people uh post their drawing to the world. And me and several other creative people that I know, are gonna get together and we'll pick a winner, maybe like monthly, and display like the winning piece in the gallery.
No, that
We
yeah,
might even do a
that
cash prize. You know what I'm saying? Something small. You know what I'm saying? Like shoot out a little cash up.
that'll be a lit event. I'll definitely play with that shit. I
Right,
can't even draw some shit, but I'm gonna draw some shit.
right. And that's I like for anybody to come in there and just draw and like what I'm saying, and chill, like experience the pier, like just a little vibe. I keep my body up in there playing like something smooth, or what I'm saying, we'll get into some hip hop shit, or we'll get into some new age ratchet shit from time to time. But for the most part, it's always like a little vibe where you can just come in and that was also like again done on purpose, like putting the board even outside, like having it right there,
Oh
right
yeah,
there where you can enjoy like being like outside and right there on the pier.
hell yeah, man. You got any new music coming out?
I've been writing, man, and producing. It's like I always have beats and I always have music. So I have stuff that I've worked on the past like year, as far as just music wise. And I have a couple of musicians that I have play on stuff from time to time and do stuff. I've been talking to some people because when I get to writing, when I start writing, I know it's time for me to start recording. So I'm actually about to record some stuff. I was supposed to start this week. I got so busy with trying to do other stuff, and one of my guys, he actually hit me up last night, like around about 2 o'clock, because he had the Apollo shit too. He was supposed to actually swing that shit through. Uh, 'Cause I didn't want to like plug up a lot of my shit. Cause I just really need to just drop vocals. Cause I got somebody that, since I'm trying to do so much, that I can just avoid like having to do anything besides just drop my vocals, send them, and then like have my product. You know what I'm saying? So like
Hell yeah,
I
that's
got
what I like
about
doing.
I got about 3 songs that I'm writing on, two that I'm probably ready to record. So yeah, I'm most definitely working on new music.
Hell
As
yeah,
always, I think, and even that, I think lately, just with the world, with drawing and being so busy, it put me back in like this creative process to where like I wanted to write. You can write sometimes, but I think I want to feel that feeling like where like I have that desire to write something. Like it just kind
oh
of
yeah, I
comes
feel you.
naturally then.
That's how it is. This rap shit. Like sometimes I like to I got a nice car, you know what I'm saying. But sometimes I like to rent some like foreign shit and
Right.
drive in it for a day just to get that experience and then rap about
Put
it.
yourself in a vibe.
Yeah, basically. I like to do all type of shit. That's why I like to go outside a lot too, and then I just rap about what I see, what I hear. I've been trying to watch a lot of NBA games too. Watch a lot of basketball so I can kind of
Right.
rap about, them in the NBA bars.
Right.
Everybody got
Right.
them little NBA bars. But
Well,
shit, man.
that's just perfecting the craft. Like, you know what
Oh
I'm saying?
God.
That's getting the information. Like like whenever you're trying to be better at something, like you have to find ways to be better at it, you know what I'm saying? Do those little things, you know. Most definitely. I feel that. A lot of people don't take advantage of that enough. Uh like you said, like getting outside and just sometimes you just observe. Like you don't have to be in the mix, you know.
Oh God, you don't gotta be doing shit. You could just be
Right.
chilling in the back.
Right. You ain't gotta be in the mix.
I mean, sometimes you get put in those opportunities where you don't got no choice because it be some
Right.
crazy shit just happen. But
Right.
most of the time, people put themselves in like crazy ass situations that you don't even got to deal with. I don't understand people sometimes. I just be chilling.
Play stupid games, win dumb prizes.
On God, that like sometimes they just put themselves in shit like they just don't have to be in. It be crazy. Where can they follow you at and shit? Social medias.
Most definitely, you know what I'm saying, if anybody's on, you know what I'm saying, this if you're my friend on here, check the profile. You'll see both my
Oh, sorry.
Instagram and my Facebook. That Instagram is actually crispy214. You'll see Mike Lowry pop up, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know who it is, bro. Uh Stop by Pier 11, most definitely check out the vibes. I have a Instagram for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Go and add that whenever you stop by. You can see some of the full pictures as well, like on that Instagram for Pier 11. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah,
Hell yeah, man. Thanks
check
for
that
pulling
out.
up to the. Say what?
Yeah, most definitely check that shit out, bro.
Hell yeah. Oh, when's your latest event coming up?
Next event, again, we're gonna be in Pier 11. That's gonna be next Friday. What date is that? The 20. What's next Friday? Let me look at my calendar. I don't want to tell you the wrong day. I want to be dead on it. Next Friday, it's gonna be the 26th. That's gonna be the Art of R&B, and again,
Oh yeah,
that's
that
gonna
shit
be
gonna be
10
lit.
p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I say, we also about to start kicking off the open mics on Mondays at around 8:30. So if
Yeah,
you're
I gotta
on
play
down
that
doing
Candy
shit,
Rain, man.
what you know about that Candy Rain?
How
That's that classic.
do you
Hey,
ever
hey,
dream
hey.
of? Yeah, man, that motherfucker on right now.
You hear that? Blun, blun, dun, 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 dun. You already know what time it is. Have you ever loved someone so much you thought you died, giving so much of you tell? What you know about that, Grounds?
Type shit, type
Type shit.
shit.
Hell yeah, bro. Thanks for flowing to the Orthodoxy podcast, man. No cap.
For sure, bro. You know I had to come through fuck with you.
And I'll see y'all next week on the Orthodoxy podcast. Get some drink.
Hey,